Okay, welcome back to the channel. We are back on the milk truck. Okay, I know it's been a minute since I put a milk truck video out there. Doesn't mean I haven't been working on it. I have been working on it, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to catch up to speed where what I've got done to it, what I'm doing to it. And this week, hopefully, I'm not really sure what we're going to do this week. I've got a lot of things I want to do. I've got a deadline on this, which we'll go into detail in later videos on why I have a deadline and what that deadline is. However, yeah. I think I need to get the engine wired up. I want to get the transmission in. I need to get a measurement for some drive shaft. There's all kinds of stuff I got to do. So we're just going to kind of play it by ear what we're doing this week. But before we get into it, I need to kind of update you where I'm even at on it, okay? Because it's all hands on deck this time, and I've got to get some stuff done quick. And these are the only hands that are on deck, okay? So let me get you updated. Okay, so the best thing I can think of is work our way from the front to back, kind of get you up to speed real quick, and then kind of, I don't know, figure out something we're going to be doing this week. If you remember from previous videos, we got the motor installed. We had a couple little hiccups, a couple meaning this valve cover and that valve cover. These are the hidden coil valve covers, and well, without any modification, we're hitting here on this main support. So I have a choice. Do I notch just support out, or do I, just do what I did over here? Look, it clears. It's on. It's installed. And that is, right there. These little tabs right here. These right here is what's stopping me from actually dropping it around. So I'm just cutting these little tabs out, and then these will slide right over top of the coils, and they will sit nice and tight like that side. So we do have to get that knocked out. Let's see. I've got headers ordered. I've got a different water pump, And the video also, with the throttle body, this is a throttle body cable. We are hitting the water neck here. So I ordered a 2010 Camaro. So if you ever have any tight spots, there's some tech tips right there. If you have a low profile intake, 2010 Camaro, it shoots out the top water, where the water jacket is moved over to this side and should be out of the way of everything. So that should be here, I think, tomorrow. We got some headers coming in, so I can start mocking up the, what is that called? That is called exhaust. So I can mock up the exhaust and work on our way in. Well, see that right there? That right there is our transmission cross member 2. Yep, it's got, look at that. Fancy little DIVCO in there. So that is going to be sitting down inside the frame. Ooh. A little dark. It's going to be sitting somewhere in here, so we got to get the transmission mated up to there, figure out where that transmission mount is, and then kind of get it plated into the frame. Okay. Inside here, nothing's changed, okay? Nothing has changed because, well, I got to get all that in, and then I got to figure out flooring and humps and all that kind of stuff, and a dash, and clean it up. So I haven't touched that. Back. What have I done in the back? So I'm trying to but I need to get this thing to be able to roll around on its own. Right now, it's too low. Okay, I can't do nothing with it right now. That's actually its right. Well, no, that's air down. So I've got to get the airbags plumbed. I've got to get everything kind of wired in so I can just kind of air it up, turn them on some shutoff valves, and then kind of move it around the shop so I can get under the thing, so I can start plumbing lines, running electrical, running gas lines, all that good stuff too. So before I can do all of that, I need to place my tank where I want it to be, and this is where I'm placing the tank. Right there. So before I place the tank, because I don't want to take this thing back out again, because all the lines are coming in the side here and coming in the side there, I went ahead and made this back floor pan, which I did do the wheel well hump in another video. So if you want to see that video, go back and check those out. I went ahead and put the floor in here, and I even made one for the front. Oh yeah, I've also insulated everything underneath it, sound deadener, all that good stuff. So at least I can have the floor in here, and I know where my air lines are coming up. I know where all my the compressors are wired up too. Hold on. Yep, they're right there. They're coming out of the bottom, and they're shoved up in there somewhere. Where are you guys at? Yep, way up in there. They're up there on the frame, so compressors are mounted. Got to get some power back to those. I did make the front part. I forgot. I did make the front part of it. That's sitting right here. So here is the front. The plan is to have 3 seats, 3 bomber seats. I got 3 kids, so I need 3 seats, okay? So that is going to be the floor boards for their feet, and this is kind of be where the seats are going to be mounted. And I wanted to kind of stick true to the ribs I'm doing that was on the wheel hump, or whatever you want to call it. However, I got this all done, good, ready to go. It's not ready to go. It was a late night. I didn't realize I was bead rolling and doing everything on aluminum. If you know anything about aluminum, it is very soft metal, and well, you don't want that for floors. If you want to make it look nice and kind of sand it out in a little bit and shine it up, that ain't the way to go. So I got to make another panel for that. Yeah, another panel. Okay, let's figure out what we're going to do. I need to get this thing rolling around, so I'm not really sure if that's what I want to do first, or do I want to go ahead and put the transmission into it. So I don't know. I'm going to sit down for a second. I'm going to have a Coca-Cola, and then we'll figure it out. Okay, Coca-Cola is finished, and I think I got a good game plan. At least I think it's a good game plan. I'm going to knock out the little things. Knock out some of the little things first. We're going to fix them valve covers. We're going to get this jacked up in the air. Hey, I can work on some plumbing for the air ride, and then it's going to give me room to put that there transmission cross member in there. I can get the flywheel bolted up, the torque converter in, the transmission set, take a measurement from my drive shaft, send that off to the drive shaft maker, and well, you know, just start knocking things off the list. And the list is big. I don't have the list. I don't have a list at all, because if I see a list, then I get tired of knowing I'm not doing the list. Anyways, let's do something. Okay, I meant to say flex plate. Okay, I didn't mean to say flywheel. It's a flex plate. It's an automatic. Look, I don't mess around when it comes to transmissions, engines, bolts, and moving components. Loctite. Loctite your bolts, okay, and torque them down. You don't want these things separating. No, that calls for a bad day. Really bad day. The transmission crossmember time. Usually I'm pretty good at puzzles, right? I'm not like trying to toot my own horn or nothing. Toot toot. But anyways, this might be a little bit of a pain in the butt. This part is supposed to set inside the frame. Now I made it a little bit smaller or narrower, tall, not as tall as the frame. So it should kind of just slide in there. But I'm not sure, put the body on and moving this frame around, if it's kind of brought the frame together. I'm just trying to, I'm trying to think ahead for any possibility. Why don't I just try it? Why don't I just try it, put it in there and see what happens. If I can't get it, then we'll talk about the what ifs then. Okay, so this transmission crossmember may have been a little excessive. It's heavy, but it looks cool. Something that nobody's gonna see. But I'll know it's been done. Oh man. Ooh. Yep. Let's cut the floor some more. See? Daggum puzzles. Okay, so what's happening is, well, there's the frame, and the what is that called? The floor is sitting right directly on the frame, and I don't have a notch. What I'm trying to say is I gotta cut the floor, okay? Floor is sitting on the frame. Frame has to be, or transmission thing has to, I gotta cut some stuff. Whew. That's heavy. Come on. Oh, maybe. Okay. Maybe. Nope. Just need a good hand. This is a lot heavier than a 4L60. I don't remember my other one being this heavy. Now what? Okay. Come on. Come on, baby. Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. That about smashed my finger. Well, the plan was to put, that on the jack. I may have overshot it. Just 3 inches. I think it'll still go up, though. Let's see. Okay. Don't be rolling on me. Ooh. Stay. Oh. Nope. Okay. You need to not hurt me. Come on. Get on the pan. Get on the pan. You're almost there. I'm gonna have to try to get my... Yep. I think you're there. Nope, maybe not. Ow. Can't get my foot out. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's hot. It's really, the fan's too far over there. That one I've got too close. Anyway, you don't care about my fans. However, I got it in there. She's not bolted in, okay? But it's there. We need to go up about an inch from there to there, and then I can just kind of roll that into here, and I can get it in that way. However, yeah, just look. That's supposed to be in the transmission. Okay, so I'll slide it back. I'll try to get up as high as I can. I'll slide it back, and then we'll go from there. I don't know. We're in, baby. Look, she's bolted in. There is a torque converter behind that bell housing, and well, we're there. Now, remember I was saying about the transmission cross member, this guy right here? This is too wide, okay? This is where the bolts are gonna come through on the transmission. I basically need it, actually, you can kind of, basically need it there, chopped all the way down to this line. Basically, this whole corner on both sides needs to get taken out, but I don't wanna do that, so I went ahead and made another one. That's why I got the helmet on. We've got to weld up this other piece. Basically just narrowed it. We'll put the top back on it. I tried to make it out of one piece, but it was way too hard to break and it's too thick. Okay, so let's weld that up and then get the transmission cross member inside of there, and we'll, that list of things I had to do on this truck that's non-existent. We'll check it off that list. All right, so before I get all crazy and start welding up the bottom plate to kind of give it its final structure, I should probably check to see if this even fits. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to do it again. So I need to get that piece of wood out of there. I guess I should get a jack. Where's your jack at? Get a jack under there, kind of hold it up so it's kind of like not resting on that wood stuff in there, and then maybe see it. She should go. But I did only measure once, okay? I only measured once. I didn't do the whole measure twice, cut once thing, hence why I'm making another one. Anyways, you think you'd learn from it? Nah, just do it. Just get in there and attack it. Just get it going. Probably gonna be better if I could see this from underneath, because I can't see nothing. Well, it's too wide. Did my frame shrink? What's going on here? Man, I made it like an inch. Maybe not an inch. Maybe about an inch. About an inch shorter. She's crooked. I think it's gonna work though. It's gonna be the right width as far as where all that stuff was cut. But I've got to either use a big old hammer and schwacka that thing into the inside the frame, or just take a little bit more off. But I took off the inch. It's an inch less then, so I should be able to pivot, but it is kind of a wide piece. I don't know. Let me beat on this thing here a little bit and see if we can't persuade her in there. Okay, so before I started beating on things and hitting it with the big old sledgehammer, I wanted to measure it one more time because I'm pretty sure I took an inch off. Okay, I'm positive I would 100% in my brain, 1 inch came off of this, okay? So remeasured, it's 32 is gonna give me plenty of wiggle room, okay? Plenty of wiggle room in there to turn this and do what I gotta do. So, 32, I remeasured, it's 32, and well, we're at 33. Yep, 33. Somehow the old inch monster got me the other way. Usually I cut things short. I guess this time I made it longer, which is a positive, okay? A very good positive, because I can just keep, cutting stuff away, which is what we're gonna do now. All right, transmission cross member is all trimmed up, and well, look at here. She's in. She fit nice and tight in between the rails, well, because I actually did the measuring correct this time and the cutting correct this time, so, it fits. I just got to slide this over just a little bit to kind of line the holes up, but it looks like I'm going to be able to use the stock floor transmission tunnel, or at least use that one as a template, because I want to make some new stuff for inside of there with some bead rolls and some designs and all that kind of good stuff. Anyways, I'm tired of this cross member, okay? So let's move on to something else, and that's going to be, my other parts came in like as I was grinding. I got the headers, I got the throttle cable, and I ordered something else. I don't know what it is. It's over there in some boxes. Let's get the valve cover modified and put on, and then we'll kind of go on to some other things and see if they fit. Oh yeah, water pump. That's the other thing I forgot. Water pump. All right, so if you remember early in the video, I've got to kind of modify these because, well, that little body support thing holding up the whole body to the frame, yep, that's in the way of this. And rather than notch it out around that body support thing, well, I think it's easier if I just take a couple tabs off of here and slide it over. Actually, I say I think, but I've already done one side, so I know it's going to work. Mark it. Mark it. You guessed it. Mark it. Mark it. And just like that, voila, we got little windows there for the spark plug wires, and well, that's about done. No, it's not. I can't let this go. Okay, I've got to get the aluminum where we kind of cut everything. We got to touch that up. And we're going to do that professionally. We're going to rebuild that with some powder coat made here right there by, I don't know, Rust-Oleum. And, she's heated up. Give her a little spritzer spray and be on your way. So I'm going to tape everything off, kind of, at least kind of make the lines look somewhat decent, right? Just stay up there. Yep. Perfect. Oh, come on back. Well, what are you doing over there if you ain't holding up the valve cover? And there you go. We are prepped and ready, because this stuff says right here on this powder coat and professional can, it says no need to prep it or clean it or do anything. You just get her warm and spritz her on. Kind of actually gives it a cool little feature. It's like glossy. It's actually, satin, but right now it's glossy because it's still drying. It kind of gives it a two-tone, which is pretty cool looking. All right, both the valve cover covers, which they're coil pack covers that go on the valve cover, they're installed. Okay. I didn't have to go in here and notch all that stuff out. That's what I was talking about earlier. Those were nice and neat inside of there. They're actually gapped really well on both sides. And now it is, I'm not sure if I want to do headers or if I want to do water pump. We're going to do the water pump. Okay. I think this is out of a 2003. I can't remember. 2003. Let's just say it's a 2003. Okay. So it's a 2003 1500. This is a 5.3. And well, right here, that right there is the throttle linkage. All right. It's going to be cable. Throttle by cable. However, I can't put that, I'm going to call it the little cam on there, because this little guy's in the way. So what I did, I'm going to have to paint this up to match the motor, so that's why she's all taped up. But this is a 2010 Camaro. Okay. So instead of that water net coming out right here in the way of the cam, or the throttle cam, whatever you want to call it, it's on this side. Pretty simple. So let's go ahead and get that thing swapped out, put this on, and then see about headers. I always have a problem with headers. I'm telling you right now, I always do. I can never find a set that fits anything I do. Anything. So I'm going to double, triple check the patterns. Yep. Good to go. All right. No, it's on due day. I had to get all, somewhat decent when I went out to dinner with the family. Anyways, so water pump is in. We have clearance. Okay. Everything's clear and fine. We should be good there. Like I showed you, the water neck's coming out that side now. And now, well, we are on to headers. Yep. Like I said, I've never not had to, massage headers. And this one, oh man, it is very, very close. So we're about, you can see about a ½ inch off, and we're just hitting a little bit right there. So went ahead and marked kind of where we need to massage it. We'll put it on this here header manifold massager tool, and then massage it with this bad boy. But after lots of love tapping, I think, well, I might need a little bit more massaging, which I can do it while it's in the truck. But we are in. Now, you could just see some light, just a little bit in there. So I'll probably pull it back out, massage it just a little bit more. But now I know that these are good, and it really doesn't look too hateful. There's not a lot of dents and dings, and you really don't even see any in there. I can give it a little polishing, and we'll be back in business. Now the other side is going to take a whole lot more loving, I promise. I think it's going to need two pipes of loving. I got to come in from the inside. So that one is going to just miss. Well, there you go. So you can see there, I've got a lot more to massage on this side, but once again, just put it on your header tool and start tapping away and make sure you don't get any creases in it, and I should be okay. So we're not going to show you all that. We're going to go ahead and finish that up, get those in, and well, I'm not sure what's next, but I'm sure there's always something. All right, so I think before we go, I think I'm going to do one more last little thing on the milk truck, and I think it's going to be, I want to remake that panel. I want to get the back all done up as far as the floor pans go, and well, maybe make it out of the right material this time, which is, 18 gauge steel like I've been using for everything else. Okay, this is going to take some time. All right, let me get some patterns drawn on here, and then we'll just start bead rolling and see if we can get it fit in the back of that milk truck. Are finally done with getting the pattern laid out. That takes a lot of time, let me tell you right now. Lots of math and lines and making sure rulers are straight, all the good stuff. But, all right, let's go and get some beads rolled in this bad boy. And I tell you what, this bead roll table, this thing has been a game changer, especially in holding these big old panels and, just kind of having a third hand, arm, everything. This thing holds the whole sheet, 69 by 32. right, panel is finally done. There it is, all, you know, shiny and a lot better than putting it on a piece of aluminum and making it all funky. Now, I've got to get a little bit, it's not oil canning anywhere or nothing like that. However, right here, right in this area and this area, because all of these corners right here have been stretched, that metal's trying to go somewhere, and you can kind of see a little bit of a divot there and a little bit of a divot there. Now, trying to knock those out from the back, I probably could get them to kind of pop a little bit, but then once I get it to pop this way, I think it's gonna be too high. So I think what I'm gonna do is try to relieve some of that tension on the metal. I'm gonna stick, everybody likes dimple dies, okay? Everybody, I think every panel needs some sort of speed hole. And this one's gonna get two. And it's gonna, A, look cool, and B, it's actually gonna do a purpose, or have a purpose, and that is gonna be kind of sucking this out. All right, so you might be a little bit confused, like you're looking at it going, there's already a kind of a dimple there, and that's true. The bit I used to make the hole, and that one's already done, the bit I used, it just misses. I mean, it's off by like a millimeter here, so versus trying to waller out that hole with sanding it, what I'll do is I'll take the smaller die that fits in there, I'll kind of stretch that hole out a little bit, and once that hole is stretched out a little bit, this bigger die falls right in, and I can put a bigger dimple in it. So, in case you're wondering, you know, why there's already a dimple in it and why am I making another dimple? That's because the bit's not big enough. Well, we got holes. Now, I'm gonna come in here and give it a little bit of slap hammering because you can see just a little bit. It did actually come up, so now I'm gonna tap her down a little bit. I've already started kind of working this side. Yeah, that side's pretty much flat. We can sand out the little strike marks, but let me get that side tapped down. Then we'll be done. Huh? All right, we've got her knocked out. She's about as flush as she's gonna get. She could probably get a little bit flusher, but I'm good with that for now. I'm gonna go ahead, there you go. Let's get you one more shot at it. You can actually see it. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. I don't know if I'm gonna, yeah, let's just show you guys what it looks like put in. I think this is gonna come out, it did. It came out really cool looking. So, here's kind of the back. Here's where my tank's gonna sit. We kind of got that diamond stitch pattern going here. And the idea is I put these ribs in the one-piece tunnel just to kind of give it structure and kind of give it a little pizzazz, right? So the idea is to kind of carry these ribs up and over and then onto that next panel, which goes down, around, and then these just kind of keep looping through and coming back around and going back up. So I think it came out pretty cool. Let's get a little shot from the front. Here's those little brass inserts I was kind of telling you. I'll put some brass accent pieces kind of all over the place. And the idea here, which will come in later videos, there'll be a seat, a bomber seat, bomber seat, and bomber seat. And that's kind of like the floor pans, floorboards, or whatever for the feet. And those will all come in like, you know, future videos, sidewalls to the top. I wanted to get the bottom in all kind of done up. That way I can start running wires, running lines, and kind of hide them and tuck them behind the side panels where I need them. So, all right, bit by bit, little by little, we're getting this DIVCO done. Yeah, I know this probably wasn't the greatest video as far as, you know, getting stuff done, but I feel like I got a lot done in the last 3 days or so. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys, for sticking around. If you are not subscribed, come on, hit that subscribe button. We are very close to 15,000 subscribers. And man, if we can just kind of keep going with that trajectory, we could probably get, I'd love to see 20,000 by the end of the year. So that leaves us September, October, November, 4 more months. I think we all can do it. So thanks a lot, guys, for sticking around. We will see you next time.